Hello, friend. Thank you so much for joining me over on YouTube. I just want to give you a quick heads up that the training that you're about to see was originally recorded via Facebook Live over on our Facebook page. If you like what you see and would like to learn more, make sure you join us over on Facebook for weekly tips and tricks to help you grow your direct sales business and work smarter, not harder. Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to this live training. My name is Mary Haynes. I am a direct sales strategist and coach at Savvy Selling, and I am very, very excited that you're here. If you haven't noticed, we have just rolled into November. So I want to offer some tips. These are 6 tips that I used for managing my own business. It's still things that I do now to really make sure that I'm managing myself, managing my business, managing my family. And I don't feel like anybody is being left out, where I don't feel like I'm stressed. I don't feel like things are crazy. I mean, things can be a little crazy, but I make sure I feel like I can manage all of those things. Okay. Have you guys ever, raise your hand if you've ever felt like, just like hyperventilating during the holidays. You feel like you're just go, 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 because there's this event and that event, and you've got business stuff, and you're on your phone and you're doing all this stuff. So I want to help us kind of think through how we can eliminate that and really be strategic about our time. So as we're thinking about this, most of us, you start a direct sales business because you want to do something better for your family, right? And then all of a sudden, you kind of get wrapped up in that day-to-day of your business. And what happens is your business starts running you instead of you running your business. Have you guys ever felt that way? I know there were different seasons of my business that I felt that way, even now, where I'm like, whoa, who's in charge here? Is the business going to run me over, or am I actually managing my business? So I really think this happens a lot, especially over the holidays too, because again, we've got all of this stuff happening. And then, so a couple of different things can happen, right? You can get you're in this holiday hustle, right? You're just like, go, 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 go. And you're so focused on the holidays and you end up getting burned out. And then you're just like you can't even enjoy Christmas because you're so tired, or you can't enjoy the holidays. And then, or you get so focused on this period too. Both of these things can really happen. You get so focused on this period that you're not looking ahead either. And so you roll into January and you're like, where'd my business go? Like, I don't know what happened. And so we want to make sure that we kind of balance both of these things, all while keeping our family intact, being able to enjoy the things that were the reason we started to work for ourselves to begin with, right? We wanted to work for ourselves so we didn't have to punch a clock, so we didn't have to do all those things, and we want to be able to enjoy our families even more, right? So let's go start moving into the tips. So tip number 1, I've said this over and over again, but I'm going to say it again. Have planned time to work and plan time to play. Okay, so plan your time to work, plan your time to play. And that may seem like, if you are a free spirit, if you're like, I don't like to plan things, I just like to fly by the seat of my pants. Well, that's all well and good, but when you've got so many things that you have to do, it makes it really, really hard. And so when we just sit down and do a little bit of planning, when we start to think through what we need to get done and put a little structure on our time, it actually helps us be more productive, and it gives you so much freedom. Like, I think about a schedule or time blocking, things like that, is really permissions, and it helps me set some really strong boundaries, gives me permission to do the things that I want to do. So I want you to take time now to create some boundaries. So when you schedule work time, you work. When you schedule playtime, you play. So one of the things I did when I was in the field, I do this now, is I don't work weekends. Okay. So that's something that you can think about. Do you want to work weekends? Do you not want to work weekends? And so unless it's something that I really want to work on, or a really big project that I'm really excited about and engaged with, or maybe I'm home by myself and I don't have anything else to do, then I will work the weekend, but it's my choice. So I want you to put up some boundaries on when you plan to work, when you plan to play. So just because you're a business owner, guys, doesn't mean you need to work 24 hours a day. Like, really set some boundaries, schedule in that time to go bake Christmas cookies, schedule in that time to go shopping. I was talking to my best friend yesterday, and we were doing the Halloween stuff, and I was like, hey, we're doing Black Friday. And then we're like, yeah, we're gonna do Black Friday. And then we were setting up like Friendsgivings, with her family and my family, and kind of doing something there. So that's time that I'm not going to work. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to pick up my phone. I'm not going to check messages. I'm just not, because I'm just not. Okay. All right. The second thing that kind of leads me to the second tip is turn off your phone notifications, friends. Turn it off. And I know this may be a shocker to so many of you, but it is not necessary for you to have your notifications on. I haven't had my Facebook notifications on, I think, in 4 years. It's just, it was something I started actually maybe longer than that now. It may be close to 5 years. I only check notifications when I want to. I only respond to messages when I'm able to. My preference would be to sit down at my computer like I'm doing now and actually log in and not respond to them on my phone. Okay. And I know that can be a really hard habit to break, but here's the deal. Harvard actually put out a study years ago that said that phone notifications, the social media notifications for Messenger, Facebook, Instagram, they actually cause addictive behaviors that can be compared to gambling and cocaine. Okay, I didn't say this, Harvard said this. So it's this dopamine hit. And then what we do is we keep going back to our phones. We keep going back to look for that same dopamine hit. And so here's the truth, friends. I just want you to think logically about this for a second. When you're hanging out with your family at Thanksgiving, you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, right? Or you're sitting at Christmas, you're taking pictures of your kids, you're opening presents. There is literally nothing happening on your phone that you need to know about. Can we just be real for a second? Like literally there's nothing happening. So we want to make sure we're paying attention to those things around us. So leave your phone somewhere else. Turn off the notifications. Yes, you can do that. I'm giving you permission. And I literally live this way on the regular now. I don't have social media notifications on my computer, and they're not on my phone. And I know there's usually something waiting on me, but it can wait until I am in the space where I can handle that. And so nothing happens on Facebook or Instagram or Messenger that is an emergency. It can wait. And I'm not saying, go swear off social media. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, put some boundaries up, turn off those notifications, enjoy the people that are in front of you, especially during this holiday season, friends. Okay. And really just kind of engage, put it down. It's going to be really tempting because again, we've got that dopamine pattern kind of kicked, like ingrained into our brains. It takes a little bit to remember like that you don't need to check your phone. Okay. And then tip number 3 is schedule yourself according to holiday demands. So I think about this for a second, right? Most of the time, that first half of December is you're kind of butting up against those shipping deadlines, right? Like the middle of the month, middle of December is typically our holiday shipping deadlines. And then when you've got Thanksgiving, you've usually got a deadline for that as well. So make sure that you're scheduling your time accordingly. If you have those shipping deadlines, I like to have, most people want to get their stuff in for Christmas. So what I would do is I would bump my schedule for those first 2 weeks of the month. That's all I would do. And then what I would do is I would back off my schedule for the second half of the month because I didn't want to work after that. So I'm not working anymore. I'm actually working the same amount. I'm just cramming it into 2 weeks instead of spreading it out for the entire month. And those holiday demands are more during Christmas week, New Year's, all that fun stuff. So I want to make sure that I am, cramming in my work schedule. I don't want my paycheck to go down. I don't want my business to fall apart. I'm just going to work a little harder for those 2 weeks. And I prepped my family. I'm like, hey guys, this is mom's crazy 2 weeks in between, this after Thanksgiving and then right before Christmas. And then I'm all yours. And they didn't care. Okay. They didn't care. Also think about your travel schedule. Are you going to be traveling? I was talking to another one of my coaching clients and she was like, I don't know if I should take off Thanksgiving week. You're going to be traveling. And I'm like, do you really want to work on Thanksgiving week if you're going to be traveling? And she's like, no. And I'm like, then don't. Okay. Bump your schedule before, bump your schedule after. Really schedule yourself according to the demands of the holiday when you want to work, not when someone else is telling you you need to work. Okay. All right. Next thing. Self-care. Now, I know this might, we can get a little woo-woo about the self-care, but friends, we need to be taking care of ourselves, especially women. We tend to get a little crazy over the holidays. We've got so many things to do. We're taking care of kids. We're doing all the shopping. We're doing all the things, right? And I'm not saying the guys can't do that. That's not what I'm saying. So I don't want to get any hate mail. My husband loves to plug in. He actually loves to go to the grocery store. I don't know. So he loves to shop. So I'm happy to make a list and then he can go because he actually enjoys it. But what we want to do is we want to make sure we're taking some time for ourselves because I know what happens, especially if you have a team. If you've bumped your schedule and you've got all these parties crammed in, your team is doing the same thing, it can get a little crazy. You're answering lots of questions, you're dealing with lots of issues. And so make sure that you've taken some time to just do stuff for you. It could be a manicure, could be a massage, could just be you sitting somewhere quietly reading a book, a date with yourself at a coffee shop just to rest. Okay, take a bubble bath. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be a new book that you want. Reward yourself for a job well done for those first 2 weeks or whatever it is to wrap up your year. And then treat yourself. Do something that you want to do only because you want to do it, not because someone else is telling you to do it. Okay. And it doesn't have to be long, could just be a bubble bath, could be whatever you want. But just make sure that you got a little something in there that's going to allow you some space to rest your brain and do something that is good for you. Maybe it's crafting. I love to craft. I don't do it as much as I should, but it really helps my brain just kind of settle and rest. That's a really good thing for me. If you want to just, lay for an hour and binge watch Netflix, do whatever you want. Just do something that makes you feel good. Number 5, book ahead. And so I hate that I have to say this, friends, but here's the deal. Most direct sellers, I won't say most of you, but most direct sellers are in this kind of binge booking cycle, right? Where they're only booking in close. But here's the deal. If you're only booking in close, you've got those, most of you are going to, again, like what I did, you're going to work those first couple of weeks in December, get up to that shipping deadline. And then you've got this kind of dead space between Christmas and New Year's, right? And because you're only booking in close, you have nothing. There's 0 things on your calendar for January. That is not what we want. We want to make sure that we are booked ahead. Okay. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you only have a little bit, you're only able to squeeze out a little bit, put in the time now to get those January hostesses on your books. Don't wait until you roll into January. So that means what I would try to do was by Thanksgiving, I want my January most of the way booked because I don't have time to think about it in December. Again, I got 2 weeks. Then I'm doubling my schedule and I got to wrap everything up and still get the Christmas presents under the tree and all the other stuff. And then I can relax. I don't want to be booking parties in between Christmas and New Year's. So make sure that you've at least got your schedule set for the first few weeks in January, because that's going to give you so much less stress over the holidays. You actually know what you're doing. You can roll into the new month and it's fabulous, right? You roll into the new year and you're like, yes, let's go. And all you have to do is just keep a little contact with those hostesses over the holidays. Just a Merry Christmas. Here's a little, holiday tip for you, holiday recipe for you, holiday sample, whatever. Give them a little something so they're excited about their party when they roll into January. Make sense? But you have to spend the time now to get that set. And if somebody's like, oh, I want to book a party later, try to get them in January. Okay. Get them on your calendar. A date today is better than me having to chase you weeks from now to get a date on my calendar. Make sense? So let's make sure that we get those booked in. Okay. And then number 6, this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Schedule your posts in advance. Okay. There's nothing worse than falling off the marketing wagon during the holidays. Okay. I know it's noisy on Facebook. I know it's noisy everywhere. People have got lots of stuff coming at them. All right. But that means you still need to show up. So make sure that you've got some post schedule for your Thanksgiving week. Make sure you've got some post schedule for those 2 weeks that you're going to take off. I just had some fun tips and tricks. I didn't have anything that I had to heavily engage with, but I wanted my people to still know that I love them and that I cared about them, and I wanted to offer them some value during that time. So take a few minutes, guys, over the next week before we really get into the busyness of the season, and go ahead and schedule your post for Thanksgiving week and schedule your post for Christmas week and maybe even through New Year's. Okay, it doesn't have to be lots of stuff. It could just be some basic posts for your VIP groups and basic posts for your business page, but go ahead and get it done. That way you can relax. Like, that is the biggest thing that I will tell you about balancing the business and the family, is having that, doing so much ahead of time, really being proactive instead of reactive. And then you have the space to rest. You have the space to wind down, because you know what? You're going to need that. You need that at the end of the year so that you can roll into January strong. And let me tell you, your business needs you to do that. Your business needs you to have some blank headspace that you can relax and you can think. Because I'm telling you, like, there's so many good ideas that come to you when you're relaxed, but we don't give ourselves enough space to do that. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys. Just let's walk back through and let's do a quick review. So one, plan your time to work, plan your time to play. Like, literally put it on your calendar. If you are playing, you're not working. If you're working, you're not playing. Okay. That's just the rules. Number 2, turn off those phone notifications. Turn them off on your computer, turn them off everywhere, and be very strategic and intentional about when you're going to check in on social, check in on email, all of those fun things, check in on text. Okay. Number 3, schedule yourself according to holiday demands. Again, I like to cram my stuff in and into a work time so that then I could have lots of playtime, back-to-back playtime. Number 4, make sure you've got some self-care scheduled in there because that's super, super important. Just some time to rest and think. Book ahead so you aren't stressed. It's not causing stress. Again, that's going to throw your balance off if we can even come to that word balance, right? But it's going to throw you off if you're stressed during the whole Christmas season about what you don't have booked in January. And then schedule your posts in advance. Just get those things scheduled and walk away, friends. Walk away, have some fun, go bake some Christmas cookies, drink some eggnog, and enjoy. Okay. All right, friends. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week. Okay. And I will see you guys right here next Tuesday. Have a great one, guys.